Okay, that's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to talk about?
We can.
What do you want to talk about?
Let's rolling.
All right. It's rolling. Let's get it.
We at it back at it, man. Done off the fast. My fast days is over. 6 days in, I had to give it up, bro. I had to throw the towel in. It felt marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we definitely set 2025 off right, man. Just got the body right, the mind right, the business got a few things, you know, in the chamber for the business already this year. It's pretty good, pretty exciting stuff, and we got the training coming up again. If you guys, you know, but probably by this time the training will probably be
going
over.
on.
Yeah, it'll probably be over.
January 22nd, 23rd, San Diego, Josh V's.
KCX.
Josh V's place, KCX training. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, so what else you got besides the fast, man?
You know why I like the fast, man? I do it for obviously health reasons, but I just do it for another part of discipline, like mentally. It's so easy to eat. It's not so easy not to eat.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you do. Anytime you go to the fridge, probably open it, grab something, take it out, put something in your mouth, roll out. You know what I mean?
We're so used to doing it, like being able to stop something like that, part of your essential daily life. What we think, you know, it's that takes a lot of willpower.
Because I don't think the body was intended to eat 3 times a day like clockwork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really don't.
Like all the people that try to study anatomy and everything, everybody has very, very strong opinions because there's a science-based fact. Everybody is different. Let's just throw that equation in there. So, you know, some people are like, oh, the carnivore diet, whatever. But we ain't here to talk about diets.
No.
Fasting is not a diet, by the way, but we're just, you know, we're talking about, you know, just kicking off 2025. So what do you want to talk about today?
It's something that I don't hear very much people talking about. We discussed it a little bit here in passing, but ceramic coatings.
Okay.
And it's not so much the actual ceramic coating, but it goes along the lines when you do anything to a car, when you're detailing something, a question that gets asked is it safe for the ceramic coating?
Oh, yeah. Here's,
like,
man.
There's when people say there's no such thing as a stupid question, I beg to differ.
Yeah.
There is.
This is interesting because I have my theories on this and I don't share them with people. Like most of the things that I have a strong opinion on or have any type of like kind of questioning, I'll usually let you know, but it's not something that I'm telling other people out there in the public because it's not always popular opinion. And I'm interested to see, and I don't think I've talked to I've kind of said, like you said, we've kind of thrown it around here and there, but we never had to have the in-depth conversation about the subject. But I'm engaged right now because I want to hear what you think about this because you're still in like your first 5 years of detailing. So there's still a lot of learning and questioning. And now I think where you're at, you're doing things, but you're also seeing what's being put out there.
I think the growth has multiplied compared to other people, I think, in my opinion, because background and what I'm doing now, who I'm with. But everyone seems to grow like fast, like the pros or whatever, but no one's really taking a step back like, because I have that luxury to step back and be like, hey, well, what about this?
Yeah, like, or should I be doing this?
Like,
or is that going to benefit me? Based on what you told me
about this. Like,
you're just not an easy consumer.
Right.
You're not buying into shit right away.
Yeah.
You're questioning things. You're thinking and making decisions with reasoning.
Yeah.
You know, and usually you'll bring it up to me if there's something that's
like the ceramic coating, right? Mm-hmm. Ceramic coating. What do we push when we do? It's ceramic coating protects your car, protects the paint. Obviously, it's going to stay cleaner longer. Mm-hmm. It's going to shine a little more, right? But more importantly, we do it for the protection. Obviously,
and it's easier to clean.
Yes, easier to clean, and obviously the major protection would be PPF, right? But in regards with ceramic coating. And it's supposedly, in theory, supposed to be the pro ceramic coating is supposed to be 2 times harder than the clear coat.
Yeah, I think they sell them as, I want to say 2 to 3 times harder
Right.
than a tradition than a factory clear coat. So it's not as, obviously it's not going to be as thick, but it's, you can apply layers upon layers, and you could really, like, you could put a pretty nice shell on there that's going to give you a good amount of protection for an average driver.
So with that saying, it's harder, it's stronger. It's another barrier.
Yeah.
When people say, is it safe for ceramic coating? In my head, I'm thinking, what you mean is it safe for ceramic coating?
What are you referring to?
When people say, is this, let's say you have a chemical and you're doing a process, and people say, is it safe for the ceramic coating?
So the product is the product safe?
Is whatever product or technique or method good for the ceramic
So
coating?
when someone's asking,
and then the thinker in me is just like, what the hell you mean is it safe for the ceramic coating? Ceramic coatings would be for...
You got all these motherfuckers out here telling you it's bulletproof.
It's for protection.
It's lifetime guaranteed, or this is the maximum protection you get.
You're worried about this drying towel? You worried about this
soap?
this drying?
You worried about this soap?
Is it safe, or it's like... If I have to answer that question, maybe
the ceramic coating ain't worth a shit, and you just lied to me.
I think
it's contradicting what the ceramic coating is supposed to be doing.
I think it's one of those questions that people just say because that's like an industry question. Like the same thing goes for people say, is it safe for tinted windows? God damn it, all windows are tinted nowadays. Factory or not, is it safe for tinted windows?
There's more shit that's gonna fuck up. There's very little things that are gonna mess up that tint compared to the other things. It's like 1% of the stuff that you actually use for window clean. It's like, and those are not window cleaners most of the time.
Yes.
Most of the time, that's some shit that somebody's like mixing at home. Oh, I'm gonna put some isopropyl alcohol with this or that, or it's shit you shouldn't be using, because you're not supposed to use ammonia. Who the fuck, like, there's not a lot of people use, well, I guess some glass cleaners have it, but if you're buying an automotive product, more than likely, it's gonna be okay for a tinted window. But yeah, that's a stupid question. Well, it's not stupid.
I think it's stupid.
It's a question that shouldn't. There should be. I don't know. I can't, because there's different. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But yes, I get what you're saying.
It's short, right?
I get what you're saying. Yes, but that's a prime example. Yeah, because it's kind of like, well, people say that for stuff like O&R and stuff.
Is it safe for ceramic?
I would fucking hope so.
Well, what ceramic coating you talking about?
They're over here telling you to wash it on the leather, but you're over here worried about putting it on the ceramic coating.
I'm over here with
you know what the fuck a ceramic coating is?
I'm over here with a scrub pad on the leather, and they're saying is it safe for leather? like me scrubbing is not more.
Yeah. What more evidence do you need to know that it's safe?
I don't. Am I?
I think people. Well, you can kind of contribute that also to the industry trying to like pump out so much false information about stuff, or just trying to play up an attribute or characteristic that maybe doesn't need playing up. Like, oh man, this soap is fantastic for this. And then they use it on something else. It's also fantastic for this. No shit, it's a soap. Soap's gonna clean anything. There's a lot, like, it should have multiple uses for multiple things because it's a soap. So yes, you should be able to clean this and you should be able to clean that. If you don't, if it can't do that, then it's probably a shitty soap. But people, but what you see someone saying, oh, you could even clean your wash buckets with this. Oh, you could even clean your windows on this. Is it safe for ceramic coating?
Well, also
it's soap and water.
Well, like I always said this too. It's very hard to burn to clear coat.
Yeah.
And then if ceramic coating is supposed to be 2 times harder than a clear coat, then it's going to be hard to burn through that coating. It's
meant to take a beating.
Yeah,
that's why you put it on. It's meant to take a beating.
I'm baffled.
And they always push, like, how many times do you hear the acid resilience.
Bro, it's like the
So, if it can withstand, not saying it can withstand, but they're promoting it and selling it as a chemical that has acid resistant properties. Acid is pretty fucking strong. If it could take acid, it could take a lot of shit. There's wheels out there that can't even take acid.
Right?
So now you're telling me the paint has acid, it has a higher acid resistance. So if it has any acid resistance, that's a good thing. So I don't think, at that point, I don't think you need to be questioning what you can put on the ceramic coating.
Safe? Like, you know how much stuff, elements are worse than these chemicals? Like just driving around in the road.
Or just bird shit.
Yeah. Like, and you worried about this cleaner?
Yeah. But when you're using low quality shit, you can also tear some stuff up real bad. But I think the paint surface is one of the last surfaces you need to worry about when something's being exposed, right? What's the first thing to get fucked up when you use like a shitty chemical or the dilution ain't right or something?
The plastics?
All the black trim, the plastics, all that stuff. I think that needs to be worried about a lot more than the glass in the paint. The glass in the paint, you could scrub that shit with steel wool, with 4-aught. Like, so that I'm not worried about if something happens to the glass unless you hit it with acid and fog it.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's chemical etching. That's a different thing. But if I'm talking soaps, cleaners, and stuff like that, I'm not worried too much. First of all, you should be doing everything in the proper temperature, proper shade or enclosed area, whatever. Take all precautions. Read directions. And a lot of this shit can be prevented by reading directions. You know how many people don't read the directions? You know how many people reach out to us saying, "Hey man, I'm not getting the results I need. How do you use that?" I take a picture of the directions and I send it to them. I literally take a picture of the directions and I send it to them. And then they want to listen. It's like, "Yo, you got the bottle in your hand. You're telling me you're using this shit," and then they're mad because the stuff doesn't.
Stupid questions.
It's not. Stupid questions, man. Stupid questions.
There's no such thing as the only stupid questions are the ones that are not asked. Well, it's not a fucking question.
Yeah,
man.
that's like the that's a stupid saying. Well, it ain't a question then. There's no question there. What's a question at hand? Now it's just at that point it's a thought because it's just in one person's mind. But that's like the old saying. Like some of these sayings need to just be fucking done with. We need to we're quick to abolish and forget things real quick.
Oh, you want your cake and eat it too? Yes.
Let's get rid of that joint too. Yeah, motherfucker. What is it for? I'll stare at it. Stupid. Yeah, that's what I want a cake for, to eat it. Or the customer's always right.
That one's got to go.
You get to step in with that one.
Go. That's why a lot of people are hurting because they think the customer's always right.
Yep. No, they are not. Let us let you know, and we teach customer service for a living. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not always right. They're not always right. Say what you want, they're not always right. So these crazy questions when it comes to.
Bro, we're taking a rotary to the paint. Yeah. Is it safe for ceramic coating? Yeah. You have to bring the rotary out to cut some ceramic coatings.
Yeah. And then people ask this question and when I go places and buy chemicals, like I bought some chemicals not too long ago, and we're sitting there and I'm asking a few questions and I'm kind of not testing the salesperson, but I worked in retail for a long time. I read directions. I try stuff out. People send us stuff. We try stuff. So sometimes I'll just go in there and they'll see me holding something and they'll kind of tell me about, "Oh, do you know this and that, blah, 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 blah." And one of the first things I hear them say is they talk about that. "Oh, it's safe on ceramic coatings," or "Oh, it's not safe on ceramic coatings." Most of this shit's not going to hurt a ceramic coating enough for me to be like, "Oh, I can't use that." I'm going to use whatever I have to use to get the job done. And if I got to use a higher pH soap, I'm using a higher pH soap. I'm not going to wash a car. What's going to, let's put it in this perspective, especially for all you who do the 8 bucket method and all this shit. what do you think is more damaging to the paint? Me having to wash a car multiple times, that's real heavy, grimy, or me doing it one shot with a higher pH? Like, I want to know, do you really think that higher pH soap is degrading the quality of that ceramic coating that much? Or am I going to cause more scratching and friction and do more damage to the vehicle by washing it multiple times to get the same result?
All these chemicals talk about protection.
And I think what happens is, what's starting to happen is all these companies were talking all that shit for too long, and now the shit's starting to contradict. They're like, oh fuck, we buying ourselves another foot too. We shouldn't have said this shit because now it's coming. It's like, okay, you're selling me a ceramic coating that you're saying has acid resistance and does this and is this fucking strong. You're over there lighting the shit on fire, spray painting it, doing all this crazy shit, but don't use anything higher than a 9 pH on it. Get the fuck out of here.
Ignorant. Feel better now a little bit. You know what I think what that came from? That came from dishes. Is it dishwasher safe? It just carried on. You know what I mean? Everything is dishwasher safe too. Every house got a dishwasher now.
Yeah. You don't even got to say that. That should be standard. That should be a standard by now.
Everything just made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Dishwasher safe.
Yeah, it gets rid of, they did that with gluten-free too.
Yeah, it was gluten-free.
Fucking putting gluten-free on everything. It's like just trying to sell, just to try. Shit that I didn't even think had, that everybody damn well knows there's no gluten in. They're putting gluten-free on there. That shit says it on bottled water. It doesn't, but I'm sure there might be one out there.
Another question I have, where I haven't seen it, when people say the industry is putting it out. Who is the industry? What? Who falls under the umbrella of the industry?
The industry.
Because if we're in the industry, we're doing it.
Well,
so
here's okay. Go ahead.
So what is so you got the companies that are pushing their product, and who's buying the product? The consumer and the detailer, or whatever. However that level goes down, whatever. Yeah. So. And who is the most of the majority of the industry? I
can't answer this question, but it's going to come from a flip side.
All right.
So this goes back to basic economics. It's supply and demand. So there's a supply and there's a demand. If the demand is high, the supply needs to match the demands, right?
Right.
And then everybody's happy. We're getting what we want. People are making enough of it for us to get what we want. If there's no demand, there's not going to be a supply, because who's going to be making stuff that's not moving, that's not selling?
Right.
So I think a lot of people that complain about the industry and these companies and all this shit, like, oh, there's too many, they're not selling anything, or it's ineffective, this and that. They're only doing what the demand of the consumer is asking for. So if there's something that you guys don't like, if there's some shit out there where you're just like, yo, man, this shit is snake oil. This shit is trash. And you know when the last time I seen like people kind of go against stuff and be like, nah, we're not fucking with this, was graphene. Because you know there's some people where it's just like, nah, that's done. Like I'm not messing with graphene.
I got another question on graphene.
And graphene's one of those things too where it's like, okay, it can be in something, but again, they all have different characteristics and different things. So now you got diamonds on the scene. You got the nano diamonds, and C-Quartz has one with the diamonds.
Yeah, that's the word that's taking place of ceramic is nano, some type of nano thing. That's the next.
Yeah,
or it's been here.
Well, the nanos has always been in the industry. It's always been a word. Yeah, they use it for decontamination products. They use it for polishers. They use it. It's definitely a word, a hot word, and it's not necessarily a buzzword, but it's like a descriptive word that's used very, very often in our industry.
It's different but similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes. Very, very. I think it's recognizable. So people, when something in the industry becomes recognizable, people like their ears, okay, I know what that is, especially when it's a word that's a little bit more
surfactants.
Yes. So like people love saying big fucking words. And most of the time they're just doing it to try to embellish or for a salesman purpose. And that's a fucking truth. So, because you could just say, yo, it grabs the motherfuckers and it pulls it down and cleans it. That's the way I like to talk about it, because I think more people respond to that. They don't want to hear the bullshit salesman talk. If they want to hear that, there's how many other YouTube channels out there to get that from? Like, we're not here to talk like that. We're not here to try to break down the specifics. We're going to tell you, like, I don't give a fuck about the description of the fucking product. Like I don't think the consumer gives that much care about it.
It's good to know, but you take care of that over there. That's your job.
Yeah. That's not like that. That's for the companies to sell.
Yeah.
That's what they use to sell. Mm-hmm. And that's what they use to cover themselves in liability. And for I don't need to see no material safety data sheet. I don't need to see that. I don't need to, because I'm not using shit recklessly. And I read the directions. When people are like, "Oh, do you have the safety data sheet for that? Do you have the blah blah?" It's like, does the average consumer really need that? Does the pro really need that?
No.
If you go to distributor and you buy some aluminum brightener, they're gonna be like, "Hey, brother, wear a mask, dilute this shit, and be careful."
All that stuff matters for the people that make it.
Yeah.
There's law, the EPA. You got all.
Yeah, they're doing that because they have to.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to your garage, bro, you have so little amount that it's not gonna affect it.
I don't even know where the video stopped at now.
Me either. Damn ceramic coating.
Yeah, so we're recording and we get a call. I had to get up. We had a call from one of those. Oh, you want to partner with this to get more ceramic coatings? Blah 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 blah. Another thing in the industry that we're allowing. Like, quit buying into that shit, man.
Ceramic coating talk.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be with the scams. We're going to have a whole video on the scammer shit, bro. Like, this shit is wild. It's wild out there. Again, supply and demand. If there's a demand, the same people probably taking up these scammers up on the offers are probably the same ones that are asking these questions, huh? Is it safe for ceramic coatings? So yeah, my man messed up my video. I was on a roll.
No, we don't want no ceramic coatings. Yeah. Give me some car washes.
So yeah. So man, I think there was a good chunk of the video that's not on here now. It sucks. I don't know where it stopped at, because we had some rolling. We had some good information on there, man. So it'll come back. It'll all come back. But yeah, we're pretty much, the industry is what we let it be. If you let it be that's where it's gonna go. They're not gonna, the people in the industry, they're gonna make what they think the people want, because that's where the money is. So, but that's what we were talking about, man, being happy.
Yeah, that's what it was. Mm-hmm.
We were talking about being happy. We see a lot of people in the industry unhappy, whether they blew up, got all this, got everything that they thought they wanted, they get it, and then it's like, you're not going to get fulfillment from that. You don't get fulfillment from money. You don't get fulfillment from title. You think you do, but what ends up happening at the end? How many people do we talk to on a weekly?
Just go back to having the bare minimum. Remember, I told you I got a lot of happy times in my life. You know what I mean? But as a young man, one of the happiest times of my life, I told you, was when I was in the military, and all all my possessions belonged in a sea bag.
Yeah.
Like, at that time, I didn't realize it, but I was able to, like, hey, let's go. I took a flight out for an interview for Chicago. I ended up staying out there 4 days.
Yeah.
Because all I had was in my bag. I did no possessions, no nothing. I was like, the freedom.
It's freedom, yeah. The more shit that ties you down, I think you have to be more prepared mentally than most people think. Like, you get an employee, you got to be more prepared mentally to be able to take on some bullshit, more bullshit, because you're multiplying the probability of something happening not just in life, but on the job or customer service wise. Like the probability of everything has just doubled within your operation.
The more insurance you got, the more shit you got.
Yeah.
Try to have less insurance in your life and you'll be happy.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. But I think people, they think they're going to find the happiness in the wrong things. And I know, and I'm not trying to be preachy, but just from what we do, we have tight restrictions on what we do. We have, even our screening process is real optimized and tight to where if you don't fall in alignment with one of these, or if you're not hitting the right score, you're not a client, you didn't make the cut. There's a lot of things that we do. And we do that to protect who? Us, our happiness. We were having a conversation this morning. It's like, if it's not, and we were having a conversation just this morning as we're working. I made the statement. I said, Sal, I said, at this point, if it feels like work, we're not doing it. We're staying away from it. Because what we do on a daily basis, whether that's detailing, whether that's creating content, whether that's consulting, whether that's, what else? Something that we do? I don't know. Yeah.
Events.
Yeah, event, whatever. Anything that we're a part of, if it starts to feel like work or it is work, I don't want anything to do. I want to be as far away from it as possible because that doesn't bring me happiness. And I'm noticing the more we do that, the better things become in our entire life because we're just happy. I think that's why people, when they see us, they're like, you guys really, this is, I'm like, yeah, we're just being ourselves. We have nothing to sell. We have nothing to try to convince you of. We're just trying to help you. If you don't want to be helped, that's cool. You don't got to watch the channel. You don't got to take the advice. You don't have to do anything. But this is going to make your life easier. And that's what we're all about.
That's the old saying. No responsibility is the key to happiness.
Kind of is. It kind of is. Going from like 150 employees to zero, that's pretty nice. Man, I can't tell you how life-changing something like that is. And the guys that I see that are the happiest are the ones that are doing things and realizing that sooner than later. For instance, Hugo. You see the way, like, he just realized, it clicked in his mind, like it clicked to him a short while ago that he's capable of doing everything he wants to do at whatever capacity he wants. I think he knows the value of simplicity.
Yeah, because he went back, he asked the question, what's giving me a headache?
And that's all he's doing is eliminating.
Yeah,
it's not, I think at a certain point, it's no longer a point of consumption and a point of bringing things on board. It's about letting things go. And you don't realize that until most people, until they're at the point of failure where they've already failed. And maybe on the way out, they're like, that's all I had to do? That's all I had to do? I was watching a podcast with Nick and Jamie. It was one of the Hawk Pro, and Jamie was talking about the lowrider guys, the lowrider detailers, because that one of his mentors was a lowrider detailer. Those dudes, they're like nomads, because when you're working on vehicles like that, the car's not coming to you. Mm-hmm. You're going to the car. The car could be in Texas at a show, and they may need you for prep. The car may be at the body shop where they're finishing off the final stages before the client picks up. Or you're doing maybe the wet sanding or the finishing or whatever. Those guys usually don't have shops. Nobody's bringing a lowrider or a vehicle that's fully custom, because a lot of those vehicles, they're not driving those cars. They got to piece it back together to drive it because it's on display and lifted, wheels off. Frame might even be convertible. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that those cars have to do to drive. So when those guys are working, it's usually them. They don't have a shop. They're traveling, doing it. And most of those guys do that late into their careers, like late, because they're not dealing with any bullshit. It's just them, their environment, where they're at, and they're usually around people that respect them, because those guys are not cheap. So they're like, okay, I'm paying a few $1,000s. The detailer's going to come in and blah, blah, blah. So they're well respected in they're around good people that respect them, that value them, and they're doing what they love with no motherfucking headaches.
And those guys, but those guys got a headache. They definitely, it's a different type of headache.
They have pressure.
Yeah.
They have a lot of pressure.
They know what these lowriders mean to these people, and they're dropping them off here. Because you know they hear that conversation. Hey, man, I don't drop my car off anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm dropping it off here. Like, I know. After a while, it
still doesn't take the nerves off of you. There's been times where we've, whenever you work at on a certain level of car, and that's based off where you're at, if it's kind of pushing your technique, or it's pushing your process, where it's like, oh, I can't do this on this car that you're used to doing. Yeah. I think that's always going to bring nerves in there, because it's kind of, and then the value when you I just take value out of it. I understand it. I just look at every car as everything is expensive, because everything is. Whether that's a 1969 Ferrari, or if it's a 2025 Grand Wagoneer, that shit's all expensive. So I think if you kind of go with that mindset, you're always going to be on the safe side. You're never going to be reckless, is what I'm trying to say. And that's why I cut out all the cheap stuff. Like even for like the fleet washes, like the cheap chemicals. Like that's giving me more problems. Or it's costing me more money to be cheap on that. So we stay away from the cheap products, and cheap meaning low quality, just not good for the cars. That shit that tears up all the black trim we were talking about earlier. Let's jump right into this week's certified product presented by Car Supplies Warehouse.
Is rinseless wash safe for your paint?
Fucking idiots.
What the
So we were just talking about this.
What the fuck?
That's a new video that just came out. Just and again,
don't put
the videos being I'm gonna say it. The videos being made. We're not calling the content creators.
Oh idiots. Yeah, because he's answering.
They're answering questions that people are asking.
Yeah.
My man can't pick up his phone without having a stupid question hit him in the face.
Damn.
So this product here has gotten us out of a few different situations where it could have been extremely time consuming. We're talking about water spot removal. We're talking about things that we see maybe on a maintenance vehicle that we're working on every so often. Something appears and we're like, oh, where'd that come from? And the client says, oh man, a couple days ago I parked by the sprinklers and at work, and this happened. So instead of pulling out the acid, instead of pulling out the polish, instead of having to do all that work, we just grab this. Give an example, Sal, of how you've used this product where it's to say, give the people an example, Sal, of how this product, when you have it with you, how it changes things.
Yeah. All right. So, when you're cleaning windows and the hard water buildup gets in the corners and the edges?
On the outside, yes.
On the outside, yes. You just clean the windows. This is a perfect example where I will go in the bag.
And just grab that. And this, I find myself reaching for this first.
That too. And also the stubborn parts on the vehicles, the trucks that have the running boards.
Yes, the running boards and the large bumpers.
Yeah.
On the where the bumper, where the chrome piece meets the plastic, that grimy edge. You want to knock all that. You know what I'm talking about? The little haziness. Maybe they drive it through the car wash and there's a little bit of oxidation buildup, like a little film there that doesn't. Maybe the normal detailer ain't gonna get it out. This one will. FSC. This stuff right here. You want to save some time when it's not marketed as, they're not lying to you. They're not saying this is a water spot remover. They're not saying it has a lime scale remover built into it. It is a finishing spray. It's finishing spray exterior. That's what it is. It's a finishing spray. It's a detailer. It knocks out that extra. If you're running with no if you don't have filtered water or a DI system and you're running with hard water, you need to. This thing right here, this is
if you're running with rinseless.
Yeah, well, rinseless already has a water spot remover in it. But if I'm using rinseless, I'm probably using this too, because rinseless, another area is a lot of people don't tell you about rinseless is where all the trim is. You know, the trim gets like filled up. You ever pressure wash across the trim and all the nasty shit falls out? Rinseless ain't getting that shit unless you're pressure washing first.
I'm not.
Let's not talk about it.
I'm not reaching for rinseless for no lime scale remover.
So
no, I'm not.
So no, definitely not. But as far as if you do have any type of hard water staining that's been there for a fraction of the time, or if you're washing and you know you don't have soft water or deionized water, you just hit the car. You use this as your finishing spray, and you don't have to worry about any spotting that you left on the surface.
You know what I'm excited to try it on? The door jambs of the Tesla truck.
No, that's too. That's too.
That's too much.
It's those. I'm
still going to try
those stain and rust. I've already tried it. I've already tried it. That shit's
turning
done.
orange now because of rust.
This shit's nasty. Nasty work, Tesla. So, FSE, man, this thing right here, windows. I've taken water spots. I have a short where we took the water spots off of the windows of the mobile rig. I said, man, this stuff ain't gonna come off. My sprinklers hit it. It was like a week before, I want to say. Sprayed that shit on there. And sometimes you have to do 2 rounds, but it's a lot easier than having the polish. So FSC available.
So I wonder if this has got some rinseless properties in it, because Coach Kimmy, they usually put like the gloss meter. Mm-hmm. They put the number on there
for the polishes, and then they do it for their sealants.
Sprays, yeah. And then also the pH is on here, and it doesn't have either.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So it's a question.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Some people say that it remove. It can pull away some of because of the lime scale remover. It could pull away a little bit of the protection, but it is safe on ceramic coatings
and tinted windows.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know about the inside of the windows, but I do it on the outside.
I'm sure it's fine.
Most people are not getting water spots on the inside of the windows.
I'm sure it's fine.
So, but don't take his word for it. Don't go spraying it the inside.
So tell me
just use your window cleaner. Just use your window cleaner. Dedicated window cleaner. But FSC, man, this has gotten us out of some binds. The first time I used it, I said this is not leaving the lineup. We're gonna have this in the shop. I'm gonna make sure we have a bottle in the studio, and we have a bottle in the mobile rig at all times.
In the shower.
No, it's not gonna do all that.
I just want to see.
It's gonna do all that, but it's for those times where you have the chrome running boards. This has been a time saver for us on a few occasions of our clients, where they're, because the running boards down there on the bottom get hit with the water spots or rims. If we got to finish the rims, we're like, oh man, my man's got hit with the water spots on the rims, but it's a car that we've maintained before and we know there's protection on there. FSE, we don't got to expose a crazy acid to it. We don't have to compromise the safety portion of not only ourselves, but the vehicle materials. So FSC, if you don't have it, go get it. Car Supplies Warehouse, 10% off, details 10. You don't have it, man, it's certified.
But we could add this later or whatever, but you know what I think needs to happen? The car makers versus the detail industry needs to start calling out the car makers. Like we talked about the leather. The leather's not fake. The leather's not real. So let's have the detailing company saying fake leather cleaner.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Say for ceramic coated vehicles, like we got piano blacks all over the cars.
Again, we're gonna go back to this. You got the low level, you got the medium, and then you got the expert. And the experts have that way of thinking. The other folks don't. It's just like, you know who does that? Coach Kemi. With Mercedes. They work with Mercedes. They do the finishing on the Mercedes before it's leaving. When they have issues with the vehicle, they're using Coach Kemi.
Like,
it's excellent for experts. If you're not an expert, you're probably not going to understand what most of the stuff is that they do and why they do it, because it's integrated into everything in the business. And that's one of the reasons we're a big fan, because that's the way we operate. Has nothing to do with, it's because it's expensive. No, the shit works. They understand things that a lot of other companies are not. If they do understand it, they're not putting it out there, because that's what gravitated us towards the KCX. And I'm not saying it's the only line we use, right? But it's happening right now. Like it's pretty fucking close to where KCX to us, in our eyes, it's like it's hard to find things that are better than that. Period.
But like we talked about for the chrome, ain't no car that has chrome on it these days. It's all film.
Most of it is just like, as soon as that top layer peels off, it's just, it's some kind of nasty material underneath it.
Most cars that get damaged are the bumper, which is plastic.
Yeah.
It's some type of synthetic material.
Yeah. Even the rims.
Yeah.
Like the car owners will say, like the car dealers, it's on chrome rims. That shit is not chrome. Look at that center cap. That center cap is a piece of plastic, and it's hollow as a motherfucker. You just, like, all that shit is, when they say, I got the chrome this and the chrome that. No, that shit ain't chrome. The carbon fiber. We got the carbon. That shit ain't carbon fiber. Like, you gotta stop lying. Like, quit. And the consumers need to, we need, like, this whole, like, this, for instance, the ceramic coating era. I think that era is pretty much at its end, where they were saying, it has ceramic coating. This ceramic coating. This ceramic.
It's still coming.
Man, just get that shit out of here.
You ain't heard nothing.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that. We don't want to hear that talk.
I think I seen ceramic coating something on like dish soap.
Yeah, so there's a lot of this stuff, I think, is just played out in what it's starting to do, and I think it's starting and what it's starting to do is it's starting to take its toll on the guys that are seeing things from a different angle. And I think it's
angry.
Yeah, and I think it's our responsibility too to call out things in the industry that we love and that we want to be a part of. We're not only trying to make detailers better, we want the whole industry to get better. People may look at us and say, you guys are talking down about this. It's all, the intention is always to bring the entire industry up. And I've said that from day one. So I could care less if you think we're dogging other companies out. We're going to highlight things that are being done well. And then things are, again, I'm going to say it. How many times have I said it? There's the low level, the medium, and then there's an expert.
You know what I want in my car? Not the fake leather. I want the stuff that's in the work truck. The work truck. That's the stuff I want in my car as a seat. You know what I mean? That stuff cleans up easy. It gets beat up and it goes back.
Yeah, there's a few. One of our clients just got one, and it's a very, very nice truck, and it's the top, the top trim. And it has those floors, and he said I had to special order them because he goes, I don't want carpet in this thing.
For what?
He goes, we live in an agricultural area. He wants to be able to get in his car and know it's not getting damaged every time he puts his boots on the on the floor. So my man had him. I'm sure he paid a pretty penny for it, but he got what he wanted. He goes, this is what I wanted. He goes, they had to special order it. They installed it for me because it doesn't come on this trim. So he goes, but I wanted it. And they did it for me.
If it fades out, I'll spray paint it. I'll paint that thing.
They got stuff for that.
Yeah. All right, man, let's wrap this up. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Uh-huh.
We're
All
out.
of that.